Recent times, won today.
Yeah, even Youngseek earlier today was able to take down a Zerg. But here we go. This is Dark. Very strong Zerg these days. 3-2 so far. One of his losses was to Zest, and another loss was to Protoss as well. So he actually has both of his losses against Protoss so far.
Yeah, that is right. I'm trying to think of who it might have been as well. I'm not entirely sure.
Or actually, rather, that's for all of Pro League, so that might have been in a different season.
Yeah, that might have been last
year.
Actually,
so it might have been a different race, actually. Don't quote me on these stats. I don't have them right in front of me. But here we go. Here's stats on the other side of things from StarTale-yoe Flash Wolves. 2-1 in 2015.
Very timing-based sort of Protoss player. Likes to go for the all-ins now and then.
Yeah.
Can happen on this map, especially as we have seen recently.
I would not be surprised at all if he does it, especially if he sees the effectiveness of the way that Zest does it. Maybe he does the same build. He's like, okay, you showed some weakness to this before, especially in terms of your scouting. Maybe I can just do the same build and win.
Well, we're going to have to wait and see, Valdez, as I use that term once again for the 500th time.
We're always
today.
waiting and seeing, man. We're going into the match, guys. Dark versus San on Foxtrot Labs. Down here in the bottom right, in the red, the Zerg player, it is Dark.
And in the top left, it is the StarTale player, San. Now we have different positions this time, Valdez. One's not as susceptible to timing attacks. Perhaps we will even see a gold base from Dark if he so chooses. If it was Linux, he would.
Yeah.
He would.
Take that first. He'd be like, I don't know, I'm fine.
Yeah, well,
I'll make it work.
Yeah, man, he's greedy. He wants that gold. Can't blame him. He gets away with it just about every time as well. Third base, on the other hand, if Dark was to take it above his natural, have to kill some debris to kind of create a safe passage to it.
That he will. Pylon in the main here from San, so probably no forges coming out here unless he wants to build in his main. Not something we see too often.
Yeah, I wouldn't suspect so. You want kind of a pretty big block on this map in your natural if you wanted to go for any sort of forge fast expand. It's just that wide in these positions, which can be a problem. And I mean, we've seen Lenok defeat, who was it? It was Rain. He won one game against Rain, and he did go for a very, very quick speedling all in against him on this map simply because of how big that choke is in the natural. We are going to see 15 pull from Dark, though. Dark has his own style, his own flavor when it comes to a lot of these matchups. I mean, thinking to his ZVT, for instance, he loves to go Corrupts instead of Mutas and go for that kind of interesting composition, which we never see from anyone else, but he makes it work.
Yeah, starting to become kind of a bit of an innovator here on the SKT team, whereas a lot of his teammates are kind of robotic. I mean, even if you look at a guy such as Innovation, a very robotic player, kind of just mixing things up. Really like his playstyle, and I'm really liking what you're saying in the lead.
Thank you, Valdez.
No problem.
So we are going to see that gateway expand from Sound. Means we'll get out the Mothership core just a little bit earlier. The Stalker, obviously. Want to take map control with that. Going to start with the Zealot. Zealot can be handy. Can do a lot of harassment early on. If you see perhaps 2 hash before pull. See a Zergling Scout. It's going to be very, very standard sort of opening from Dark. Not going for any fast third base just yet. Playing it safe.
Yeah, let's see how long he stays on these 2 bases for. The first Probe Scout does come out pretty late here, and you will see the Zerglings, so he's looking at the timing. Wow, this micro. What? What?
Dark.
This guy, man, I'm telling you.
Oh, my God. I've never done that before. Never, ever, Valdez. That is crazy. That shouldn't happen, man. Well, you know what the biggest problem is? He wasn't mineral walking.
Yeah,
there
actually,
you go. Problem solved. Put my stamp of solved on that.
GG. We solved this game, guys.
Yep. Got to do that if you want to scout. Or Zerglings will do that to your face.
They will. 2 Zerglings coming into the main now. Mothership Core about to pop will be more than enough to stop these, along with the Stalker. Now just having this game kind of come through here. Both gases taken in the main for Dark.
Yep, staying on 2 base for now. Going for those 5-minute gases. Okay, I know this build exactly. So from here, adds 1 creep queen. Sometimes you add 2 with this kind of build. Creep out, just be a little bit safer. We are seeing 3 gateways added as well, so Dark definitely knows what's up. He definitely knows that on the cards is a 4-gate pressure.
Yeah, and this screams San, by the way. This is like San's build, basically. Not surprised to see him do it on the map. On this map, I should say. Spinecrawler is coming down, as he has identified the fact that those 3 gates are coming up, in addition to the 4th one in the main. Nice pylon placement, very close to the golds, as well as close to that natural.
Whoa, gotta be careful with that Mothership.
Already losing a bit of health here, actually. Don't want to lose any health before this fight actually starts.
Let's see how many warpins we see. Obviously, Zerglings scout the front. They see Warpgate has been researched, but no investment from San on the map.
Dancing Mothership Core, just waiting over there. Maybe wants to see if Drone is going to go over and take that 3rd base, wants to block it.
Yeah, we are seeing a very fast lair as well as a Roach Warren, so it feels like it's going to be very early Roach with speed. We are seeing the robotics facility follow up as well from San. So I wonder, are we going to see perhaps an immortal timing after this 4-gate?
Yeah, getting that forge down could go for +1. Already got the +1 on the way for Dark in terms of ranged DPS. Stalker begging to be let outside. He wants to kill that Overlord, but it's going to get away. So this is what we were talking about. Will he be able to get it? He does.
So close.
But that Mothership Core going to continue to be annoying. Look at this. We got an hallucination of an Oracle on the way, and Dark has bitten the bait, man. He's putting down a Spore Crawler.
He reacted for a second, but once the Queen started doing damage, he realized it was a hallucination. And we are seeing Immortals being made. Second one queued up. It is going to be an Immortal timing. Valdez, I am certain of it. I am certain. Well, I was certain. Then he made an Observer instead of an Immortal.
San being very ridiculous so far. You know, going for 4 gates, not putting on any pressure. Puts down a Robo. Makes 1 Immortal.
Zergling scouts the Immortal. He sees it. Second Immortal being made now. And yeah, +1 on the way.
Keeping an eye on this Mothership Core. San not paying attention, though, and he's actually going to lose this. Oh my god.
Now, if he is actually going for an Immortal timing, that is one of the bigger mistakes, because you need Time Warp to really solidify some sort of advantage with your army. Without that, things can get pretty ugly. Let's wait and see if he's actually going to commit to that. I mean, we do see Twilight being added, so that's going to enable him to get a +2. It's going to enable him to get Blink Stalkers, and looks like he's moving out on the map at the very least. Let's see how much he's going to commit to this sort of aggression, because he does have a follow-up already planned.
Yeah, Dark, though, I mean, he's got so many roaches out already. The +1 is done, and he's actually going for a counterattack here. Just to Zealot at the front is not nearly enough. And with that Mothership Core down with no energy, he may have remade it. There it is, but it doesn't have the energy, I assume. And these roaches are beginning to do a lot of damage.
Yeah, he had to move the entire army back. All probes off the natural. He can run into the main base. It's like he just a little too late. Ooh. Sentries get there just in time, and he burrows it.
Where's the Observer? It's at the main base of Dark.
Oh,
this is so annoying, actually.
Another Observer coming out. Let's see if he can get some sentries with those burrowed. Well, just going to go for some more probes. Wow, getting 3.
Yeah.
This
Our
is
Observer...
So you
go ahead.
You go, mate.
All right. Our Observer did point out the low drone count of Dark, even though he does have those 3 bases. That 3rd base is not saturated at all.
Yeah.
If you look at that mini-map, you can see no drones going in between that hatch and the minerals.
Very, very important, Scout. Extremely important. This is kind of giving everything away. He's like, okay, all I have to do is defend, go Blink Stalker, get +2, make an army that is designed to crush roaches. From here, can win the game off 2 base.
That's exactly what he's doing. He's making only Immortals. And Dark's kind of identifying this. He's saying, oh, you're only playing defensive and making only Immortals? Let me add some Hydras into the mix. Also, let me get +2.
It really helped that he got Roaches into the main base. Kind of showed everything that he needed to see. You also saw the Twilight, obviously, in the natural, which also means, okay, you're probably going Blink behind this, so you are gearing up for a stronger army than just an Immortal all-in.
Drop coming in here. May be able to get a Queen. No, not quite. Oh, and is he actually going to be able to snipe that Observer as well? Yes, he will. Things just not going right so far in this game for San. A lot of his key units being sniped. You're going to want Observers against Burrow Movement Roaches.
He is up 50 supply right now, Dark. Making Hydras, which is going to do perfectly against the composition that we see from San. Now San finally going for a 3rd base. Going to be going for that Nexus at the gold. Which means that we might see some more aggression from Dark.
Would not be surprised. I mean, if San's looking to hold this 3rd base over here, I mean, let's go through what a typical fight might look like. You know, throw down a bunch of force fields, try to contain, but then you've got like 36 Roaches burrowing under them, and you got Hydras in the back doing a lot of DPS. Could be a pretty good fight for Dark. We'll have to see, though. A couple of Immortals in the mix, as well as a lot of Blink Stalkers with a +2, though, so may not want to take this fight just yet.
Oh, yeah, he is going to be careful. Giving away a lot of supply for free. Getting that 4th base down. We are seeing an Infestation Pit. I wonder if we're going to see Swarm Host from this. Swarm Host also going to do very well against this composition. Without any Colossi or Archons or Storm, like it's going to take a lot more time to get rid of those Locusts. Decent creep spread for it.
Yeah, he's pushing that out even farther now. Getting that pretty close to the gold. He's got even a burrowed Zergling at that possible 4th base for San.
Deciding not to really invest in anything after that Infestation Pit. Oh, looks like it's going to be Hive, so Viper follow-up. Definitely not a bad choice as well. He can go for Blinding Cloud against this kind of composition.
Yeah, and this is so annoying.
Yeah, there's a kind of an easy transition for San with this army. If he decides to, hold on a second, a big engagement. Nice force fields, zoning out a lot of these Hydras. But is there still enough in there just to do too much damage to this army?
Yeah, I mean, Dark's got a really nice concave, but like you were saying before, the Hydra's not doing too much damage. Now they finally filtered through, trying to focus down those sentries.
Oh, wow. Big blink forward. This is going to mean a lot of Stalkers go down. He will eventually be able to wipe everything out, but that is a lot of damage to the Stalkers. I think that was a big mistake from San.
Yeah, I mean, these Hydras have +2 as well. So even though you do have the blink, like you were saying before, he blinks forward, takes a ton of damage. And look at the supplies right now. Dark is going to remax. He's going to make a lot of units. He does have that Hive on the way as well. But big counterattack on the way out of San.
Big counterattack. 40 supply lead. And Hive almost finished, so we are going to see Vipers on the way once Dark has enough gas. It's going to make it a lot easier to fight against this kind of style. And here we go. Dark knows exactly where he is.
Yeah, and the thing about this is that there's only one sentry. Look at all of these Hydras and the Roaches in the front. He is going to try to blink micro, which he's doing a decent job of now, but Dark has more reinforcements on the way. More Warpins from San, but the Warprism does get shut down here. Some decent blink micro, but it's not enough. Dark just has too many units.
Yeah, that blink forward in the last fight just really set San behind way too much. You don't want to be blinking on top of that many Hydras, and it just put him so far behind. Like, look how far down he is. He's about 80 supply down at this point. And we have Dark at tier 3. And when he has enough gas, he can make even more of a powerful army with Vipers, with Blinding Cloud. There's nothing these Stalkers will be able to do against the Hydras.
Dark even now taking a fight up here on the high ground. Those probes at the gold being killed at the same time. I think at this point, Dark just has too much stuff. San, he's barely got any sentries. He's got only Blink Stalkers. Dark is looking to push forward and end this game.
He is. Still, Dark doesn't want to overcommit a little too much. It's still a very awkward position to fight from two fronts. Especially with a lot of Roaches. They're going to be out kind of done. But maybe he's just going to try and bulldoze through.
Yeah, Dark very confident at this point, just pushing through the gateways, fighting on the right side with half his army. He doesn't even need his entire army against the Stalkers. San looks defeated in this game, and GG is called. Dark takes game number 2. against San.
Well played from Dark. Critical mistake blinking forwards from San. Really, I think, clinched it for Dark. The follow-up counterattack was just a little too small. Only just a little. Like, it wasn't a completely dominated fight, but yeah, just a few more stalkers. Just maybe he could have pushed through.
Dark was just kind of controlling that game from the get-go as well. Like, even just forcing San back in the base with some very aggressive, just a huge amount of roaches, switching into the Hydras, forcing San into a particular comp, and then just taking a hive. He didn't even need it at that point. Like you were saying, just the fight that he took against all those roaches and Hydras that also had the +2 just not go too well.
Well, next match is going to be Classic versus Life. So this is definitely StarTale-yoe's chance to come back into this. Life, a complete monster, the world champion of last year. Blah, blah, blah. He is amazing. Let's wait and see what
That's an
he's
easy
got.
way to put it there, Moonglade. He is pretty amazing. And I'm sure everybody is looking forward to that matchup. I'm looking forward to see, especially as a Protoss player myself, what is Classic going to bring against a guy like Life? Because Life is a guy kind of like Leenock, but on like the next tier that will just like rule the game. He will control the entire thing and make you feel really bad about yourself.
Exactly. He's definitely more of a Leenock style, kind of ZVP'er. We've seen Leenock do very well in recent times, and I'm sure Life is a lot of the inspiration behind that.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I mean, it's going to be more of that, just non-stop action. Obviously, Life wants to get the early sort of aggression on. Maybe some proxy hatch, maybe very early Zerglings with speed. We'll have to wait and see.
We will have to wait and see. Guys, we're going to go to a 2-minute break before getting to that game, so stay tuned.